If it starts. What up? What up? What up? What up?
Yo, what's going on, Killer?
Hey, nothing much, man. Hey, we are back for another week. I just want to get straight into the intro, y'all. So we are in the midst of our coaching series. We're in the smack dab in the middle of it. But we wanted to definitely come in with another bodybuilding term, intermission, and give you
There we
guys some
go.
recaps. I had to put the play on the words, but give you guys a recap on a couple shows that passed by. We didn't want to let these linger too far and go straight through the coaching series. So hey, what's up? What's better than a pop-up episode? So of course, as you guys see it, this will be a coastal clash recap because we actually had someone in the building. Jamal was in the building that show. But we definitely want to shout out the team down there, the Captain's Cup team, Marcus Harris, Brittany Harris, and his staff for putting on an amazing show. I was able to catch the live stream. MJI Media, they killed it, you know what I mean, as usual last year. We were able to be on the mic and see kind of their production and how they actually put on everything. This year, they had Matt Newman and Tina Johnson commentating, so they kept the fans entertained, kept the fans knowledgeable about what they seen. And then I even thought something that was pretty cool about that was I think Matt Newman actually stepped in to judge. So he was able to give a live feedback right after he finished judging about what he saw. So I thought that was pretty unique and cool experience to hear what he thought about, especially in that men's physique division, the pro men's physique division. Were you able to catch any of the Captain's Cup?
I did not. The only thing I seen was, obviously what people was posting online, but of course, it like a tight lineup with men's physique. Pro wellness looked pretty good also. And as you said, the production is always good with MGI, the media that they got out there. So
yeah, and we'll definitely get into the winners very shortly. I'll send another shout out to the stage photos at Captain's Cup look really good. I think that backdrop really pops at the Captain's Cup, that blue background. So shout out to, I think Greg Diesel did those. He did a phenomenal job with those photos. So major shout out to just the whole staff of that show. But let's get into the winners, man, because we have it was Pro Wellness and it was Pro Men's Physique. The show is stacked from top to bottom. I want to say like there was a lot of names in that show that we didn't know we were doing it, but it definitely caught people off guard. So let's start with the ladies, of course, because chivalry isn't dead around here. But taking first place in wellness was Mo Williamson. She looked phenomenal. We'll post some pictures, hopefully, of each winner post-show, post-production. I'll let you guys kind of see in the reels of what these ladies look like if you have not seen them because it's been 2 weeks. And then second place, we had, I don't want to butcher her name, but I think it's Denise Leon. I think she had an apostrophe over the Leon, so I had to, say it differently. It's not Leon, but Denise Leon. And third, we had Maria Villalobos. So all three of those ladies look phenomenal, of course, for them to take the 1, 2, and 3. So I'm really excited about wellness this year because one, I mean, you're going to talk about it. There have been some people popping up that we haven't really seen.
right.
And I really want to see what happens at the Yorton because I think when you see people early in the year, you're always kind of get excited, kind of captured in the moment, like what are they going to do in September? So I'm kind of excited about that as well. But then of course we had men's physique here. I think that was the thing that was promoted so heavily. So I think we called our top two, but we didn't say it out loud. But our top two was the people who placed top two.
Right.
So taking first place was Core Killer. He came in looking phenomenal. He's just one of those guys. I tell people that you're either consistently good or you're consistently great, and he just comes in consistently great every time. So he's a really hard guy to beat when he comes in on. You had Nathan Parker. You know, of course, I told y'all I'm gonna bet on my team every time. So Nathan Parker, congratulations. He took the second place finish. And then lastly was Nathan Frigas. And I'm gonna tell you just my experience watching the show. Every time they called Nathan Frigas, I thought they was calling Nathan Parker. So, boy, I was just over here like on the edge of my seat every time because they were in the same class and they were in the overall together. So, congrats to all you ladies and fellas that competed at the Captain's Cup. I felt like
Congrats.
I was a little, yeah.
Congrats.
So
Yeah,
I was
it's shaping up to be a great year, especially for men's physique, because I think this is back-to-back pro shows where men's physique look phenomenal. And just from my perspective, from what I'm seeing, it looked like they're leaning more towards the shreds this year. Just from my personal preference, well, not my personal preference, just from what I'm seeing in the field of play, it's like the guys that's coming in shredded are getting the job done. So.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's just like, I mean, we talk about it all the time. You maximize on your strengths. And the one thing about it is the worst critiques I always say you can get is two of them is you're not conditioned enough, and two, your posing sucks. So when you get one of those two critiques, those are both things that are in your control. So those are things that you could kind of maximize. So of course, once my co-hosts get back,
I'm
gonna
listening, man. Hey, listen, it's already 100 degrees in Georgia, man. My dog was burning up.
Hey, Peter gonna come after you, but
I'm telling you, I hope they don't.
So we have of course Jamal was at Coastal Clash. He was able to do, I think, videos at Coastal Clash, correct?
Yeah.
So I feel like I talked enough. I talked for 6 minutes straight. So therefore, we're gonna let Jamal have the floor about Coastal Clash, and then we'll get into some questions about it and just get into the experience. But just let me know how your weekend went. Driving down the Hilton Head.
Man, the weekend was great, man. As you know, the Coastal Clash is promoted by Nam Lee. He's been promoting that show since 2023, I believe. So I think this is his third year actually promoting that show. And each year it actually surprises me. Like I've been a part of it for the last 3 years. And just the production overall, I think is getting better and better. And it's not funny. The cool thing about it is he always had returning competitors. There's been some competitors that's done the show every freaking year. And we'll talk about that once we get to the winners, because one of them just happened to get their pro card. She's been knocking on the door every single year. And, this year was her year to get that pro card. But as far as the whole, check-in process, that's always good to see the athletes there, the amateurs. I said it before, I just love their innocence. And they're just there to compete, man. We did check-in interviews. Those are always fun, just sitting down, talking to the amateurs. And I think the cool thing about that is I never throw no accolades out there. I don't introduce myself as a pro or I don't do none of that. I just sit down and have a conversation with them. And I think, that just tells a lot, because most of these people come into the sport and they don't really know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like Magnum was there. Like these people don't know Magnum is a 5-time Jordan Cup champion.
Yeah.
So, and he's the one that's tanning. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like I said, just the overall innocence that these amateurs got coming into these shows, that's what makes my day. And I love to be around that.
Nah, for sure. And I think that goes a long way, because I think when they find out, like, and I'm not necessarily saying like, oh, they found out like you did this, it changes their perspective, but I think they remember the genuine interaction they had with you with that. I think, like I said, I ain't gonna go too far on a tangent, but it was a guy who made a reel that went viral recently. He went pro somewhere. I forgot what show it was. It might have been Double Down. And Magnum handed him the trophy, and the guy like ended up remaking a reel like, yo, I just was beside the best bodybuilder in the world and I didn't know it. Like, he was so shocked afterwards. He was like, holy crap. So I think that's pretty dope and amazing that like you said, it's just genuine talks, genuine conversations. And then I mean, sometimes when you post the interviews, they end up, following the Let's Talk About It page and figure out who you are by that time. But all they're going to really remember is what you say to them in that moment, the advice you give them, and like you said, the innocence of that moment.
Right. And even Jessica was there. Jessica Powell, she was there, and she's a 3-time Yorton Cup champion. She was interacting with the athletes, and like I said, they don't know who we are, man. They just think they're just talking to regular people. Well, we are regular people, but
Yeah.
they just think we're just there working the show. So
Yeah. And I think that's what it's about. Like you said, if they go down the rabbit hole and say, "Oh my, hey, this guy did this," that just opens up even more conversations for them to feel like they can reach out to you just because of how you treated them the first time you met them.
mhm.
So, but let's go into the show, man. Like I said, I've been to the show a couple times, a couple years in a row. I didn't go this year, but what stood out to you most at this show? I seen you posting some things, so I'm kind of curious about which one you're gonna go with.
Man, like I said, I just think the overall his stage has gotten so much better in my opinion. For some reason, I'm a sucker for just coming through the tunnel. I don't know, maybe it's because of my football days when I used to play football, just running out through the tunnel, and that's what I envision. It just gives a different feel. So I like the way he had the little pop-up tunnel coming out. And just the genuine people that he has working the show, to be honest with you. As you know, Todd, he's always there working the show, and just how he makes the competitors feel comfortable backstage. Todd tells cheesy jokes, but them cheesy jokes end up finding a way to make people laugh. Then, of course, his wife is there with him, keeping him in line. You have Will Carter that's there, head judging. Jackie and Magnum there doing 10 in the live stream. So I think it's just the people that you surround yourself, or that Nam surrounds himself with, that takes his show, to the next level as far as, getting that warm and fuzzy feeling for the athletes.
Yeah, no, I definitely can see that. And speak on myself as one of those things of all the people you named are like I know personally, you know what I mean? And they
Mhm.
are like they're fans of the sport. They most of them, if they don't compete, they have competed. So like having that type of supporting your show just makes them know they can put themselves basically in the athlete's shoes and like, how can I make this person comfortable? How can I make this person feel good about this experience? And I think that's super important when you build a show and you build your staff. So, nah, definitely dope to have that. I think my second question, let's go into how do you think this show compared to other years? Like, did you see like an increase in numbers? Did you see increase in just like overall happiness backstage, camaraderie? Like, what did you see that deferred from different years?
Man, I just think their overall camaraderie and just the athletes just being happy to be there. And once again,
Mhm.
I'm gonna throw this word out there: the innocence of the athletes.
Mhm.
Some of them it was their first time competing, and
Mhm.
some of it wasn't. But you didn't see anybody act there back there, disrespecting nobody or talking like they was just there to have fun. And the one thing that's standing out to me more and more when I go to these shows are the teenagers that's actually showing up at shows.
Yeah.
Because I know at 16, 17, 18, I was not worried about bodybuilding. I was doing something far from that. You know what I'm saying? And just seeing like all the teens that's get indulged in the sport and everything. I think that's pretty cool to see also. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And we definitely just want to say, spotlight that. We know that there were a lot of different shows yesterday. I think there was 4 or 5 different shows yesterday as well. We're not forgetting those. We just, didn't have feet on the ground to actually report fully
right.
on those specific shows. So just want to put that out there because the Conqueror was yesterday, so I wore the shirt. One of the Conquerors was yesterday, I think.
Then I think
Um,
there was another show in Indy, I believe, Indianapolis. I think that was a show. Well, yeah, I think that was a show too
yeah, I
this
think
past weekend.
And like I said, we'll get back to Coastal Clash, but I'll shout out his name is Sean Static on social media. He won Men's Physique Pro card at the Indy Naturals, if I'm not mistaken. And then we're also shout out Chewy, who's also in the area. He's a trainer out at No Limits, part of the No Limits coach team. I think coached by Nate, if I'm not mistaken. He looked absolutely phenomenal yesterday as well at the Coastal Clash. So major shout out to both of them. Do you have any shout outs for athletes? Like what athletes stood out? Like pro card winners?
I
Who you
mean,
got, man?
I just want to shout out because Savannah actually had a heavy presence in Hilton Head over the
Okay.
weekend. So I think there was at least 6 competitors from the Savannah Richmond Hill
Mm,
area.
okay.
So I know Teresa, uh, I'm about to butcher her name. I think it's Tierra. And there was a couple other guys that one of my buddy coaches, his name is Dennis. He brought her a couple athletes. So Savannah did have a pretty good presence down in Hilton Head. So I just want to shout out, all the people that competed from Savannah over the weekend. And like everybody that showed up, bro, like let's just shed a light on everybody that showed up. And that's what makes these shows, bro. The athletes make the shows at the end of the day. So all the athletes that showed up, thank you.
Nah, for sure. And I guess we'll wrap with this question.
Well, we got to
I,
get into the winners, or are we going to ask a
do
question and then
you
get into the winners?
do you do you have the winners?
Yes, come
Oh yeah.
on,
All
brother.
right, all right, all right.
Come
Let's
on,
hear the
brother.
winners.
All
Let's hear the
right.
winners.
So for Bikini Masters, you had Natasha, and I mentioned Natasha at the beginning. Natasha is the one that came to Nam Show 3 times, and
Okay.
she finally got her pro card in Masters bikini. She looked phenomenal, so I can't wait to see what she's going to do for the rest of the year. On Bikini Open, her name was Abigail. I think she competed a couple of years ago down in Augusta, so she finally got her pro card over the weekend. And the cool thing about it is she's about to go off into the military boot camp here in a few months. So unfortunately, she won't be at the Yorton this year, but that's a great accomplishment before stepping into the military is to get your OCB pro card. And the wellness winner, her name is Kendall. Um, Lights out. That's lights out. And I don't blow smoke up competitors, but she was lights out. She looked phenomenal. So I cannot wait to see what she does in September if she chooses to go to the Yorton Cup. But if she goes, I got a good feeling she will be in that top three for sure.
Okay.
So yeah. So that's the female lineup. So congrats to all of them. And for the men, as you just said, Chewy, Jesus, he won men's physique, and as you stated, I think that's Nate's client down there. What part of well, they're not in Charlotte; they're outside of Charlotte, right? Is it
Monroe, North Carolina.
Monroe? Okay,
Yeah.
down there at No Limit Fitness. So shout out to Chewy. The classic fellow that won is his name is Ryan. Um, he got the job done for sure. And then the bodybuilding guy that won his pro card, his name was Greg, and he had a beautiful moment with his son. He dedicated, that win to his son, and his son came up on stage with him to share that moment with them. So that was pretty cool to see. So shout out to everyone that got the pro card over the weekend at the Coastal Clash. And if you were close, keep going. There's plenty more shows. There's a show this weekend in Beaufort, Georgia. There's another show in Charleston, South Carolina in April, and there's plenty of shows. So if you feel like you was close, keep going. Don't give up.
Nah, facts. Those are all good shout outs. And somebody got the Carolina muscle stamp. So we gotta figure out who this person is and get them on the road to the Yorton Cup soon. So we'll see. We got those future episodes we might have to look out for.
Right.
Um, so last but not least, I have one more question and we'll wrap here is was there a specific competitor, and I know you spoke about a few just then that that you kind of endorsed and that you spoke highly of, or was there a moment that stuck out to you from this show?
Uh, like I said, I would definitely give props to Kendall. She really stuck out just because like I'm not gonna say she was so far ahead of the other competitors, but just her build, her lower body development, like I said, I think she would do very well at the Yorton Cup. And of course, I posted it, but good old Nam Lee surprised me with a gratitude award. I was not expecting this. He really caught me off guard with that, and I'm just thankful. Um, like I said, I've put in a lot of time in this sport, in this space, and I'm just glad that it's getting recognized. And my only thing was, I think we say this all the time. Like, I just wanted to leave this sport or this space better than I found it. Like, I wanted to come in, make an impact, influence who I can influence. And early on in my career, I thought the wins was everything, right? Like, as competitors, we just want to win, 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 win. And I've been on both sides of the coin. I won a lot, I haven't lost a lot, but I took some L's. And the thing that I can say that stays consistent is the people that actually support you, that really support you as a person and your character, not the people that support you as a competitor. Because if they support you as a competitor, once you lose, they're going to go on to the next wave or the next hot person. So I'm just thankful that I got good people around me that actually support me as a person and that sees my character no matter what. So I'm very grateful for that gratitude award. So once again, thank you, Nam Lee.
And yeah, I think that was dope. I think you posted it, and it was just like, man, this dude have a podcast, but don't have nothing to say. So,
Man, cause look, he caught me off guard because like I was videoing, and he was like, "Come on stage." I'm like, "What? Like, what are we doing right now?" So
you're supposed to record him giving out the award to the person. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Like,
well, hey, yeah, I was that person. So,
but no, I think that was a super dope experience. And like you said, it's one of those things of I think we get out of the point of, I think at the very beginning, a lot of people get into the sport for the applauses, for the see me type thing. I think, but once you grow past that, you realize that it's not about the applauses, it's not about anything but the impact you made. Like, it might be the DM that you receive from a competitor who's looking to get started, or it might be the DM that you get about the guy who's just like, yo, like, you're your goals, you know what I mean? But
right.
We don't do it for that. We do it just simply because we love it at that point, but then we also love helping the other people and giving back. So that award is super dope. And shout out to Nam.
I got one more thing. I got one more thing. For everybody that watched this show, me and Eric are not attached at the hip. I'm tired of going to shows. And where's Eric at? I don't know where Eric is at, dog. Like, I don't know. So somebody did ask me during check-in, just like, where's Eric? I don't know.
I don't know who that was. I think we have I think people really genuinely think we either like, I guess it's because the Carolina thing, we got the Carolina connection, they think we roommates or something. But hey, I promise y'all, so most of the time we may know where each other's at, but we don't be together all the time. I can tell y'all that. So but hey, thanks for asking about me. I appreciate y'all. Somebody out there care at least.
Yep.
But with that, y'all, we're gonna end there. But like I said, this was a quick intermission, as we call it, to our coaching series. Of course, next week, check us out again for our second coach, and then we'll be moving forward along. We might have another intermission depending on how Buford goes, or even right after Buford, and let you guys know about what happens there. But like we said, we have a few more coaches lined up, so can't wait for you guys to hear what they got to say. But until next time, y'all.
Peace.